Hello, welcome to Anime Universe. I'm Arm, and today I'll share with you a super amazing Japanese latest anime named More Than a Married Couple, but not lovers. The male protagonist is forced to live with the hottest schoolgirl, pretending to be a couple. The more physical contact they have and the more intimate the behavior is, the higher score they will get. But if there is no intimate behavior between the two, they will be deducted points and eventually fail to graduate. In order to successfully graduate, a lot of interesting and blushing plots happen between the male protagonist and the schoolgirl. Will they eventually become a real couple? And how much intimacy between the young couple will happen? Let's take a look together. At the beginning of the story, the hot and prettiest schoolgirl Akari is praying at the shrine while her classmate Shiori slips her foot and accidentally hugs Akari's hip. These two girls will form a love triangle with our male protagonist. Next, it is our male protagonist's turn to show up. The boy named Jiro is in an alternative school where a boy and a girl will be selected randomly to pretend to live as a couple. Because Jiro has already been in love with someone, he is not interested in Akari, though she is the prettiest girl in the school. So is Akari to Jiro, an ordinary boy in the school. Her crush has been the most popular boy in school, Minami Tenji. Therefore, the next grouping makes everyone unhappy. Jiro wants to group with Shiori, the girl he grew up with, but gets put into a group with Akari. The popular school belle and an ordinary boy are destined to not get along well with each other. They often quarrel, which makes the scoring machine in the living room very dissatisfied, directly deducting 3 points for the failed fake couple. Akari quickly orders Jiro to behave well because according to school regulations, if they could get level A, they can exchange their partner with other A-level couples. Akari wants to couple with Minami, who is most likely to be in level A, so she has to cooperate with Jiro to pretend to be a well-behaved couple. She begins to seduce Jiro, which makes their deducted points immediately get added back. But Jiro has been single for years and it's his first time having intimate contact with a girl, which shocks him so much that he escapes with an excuse of buying things. From a distance, Jiro happens to see Shiori and Minami being together and overhears their talk, getting to know that they are coupled. Back to the house arranged by the school, Jiro is very sad, because he is afraid that Shiori will be attracted to the handsome boy Minami, and he feels like his first love has been snatched away. At this time, Akari once again suggests that they perform well to get high scores so that they can choose their beloved partner. Akari is so close that her good figure was fully exposed in front of Jiro. Just then the doorbell rings, which gives the overwhelmed boy Jiro a chance to run to check the video doorbell, avoiding facing Akari. Jiro's best friend comes to invite him to go to the Comic-Con. Akari tells Jiro that if he wants to get points, he has to kiss his wife before he goes out like a real husband. The pretty girl just wants to make Jiro kiss her on the face, but she stimulates Jiro way too much, so he directly kisses her lips, with their scores being added back. Akari sits on the ground with a blushed face, limply. After this day, Jiro often dreams of kissing Shiori, but when he opens his eyes, he sees Akari, whose temper is as hot as her figure. A week passes by like this. One day, when Jiro sees Shiori holding Minami's arm, his emotions, which just got recovered, fall into the worst again. Jiro guesses that his crush has fallen in love, and he had no spirit at all during class. What's worse, the teacher warns Jiro that he must raise the score of his fake couple if he wants to graduate, and according to the current scores of him and Akari, neither of them will be able to graduate in the end. It is raining outside, but Jiro doesn't have an umbrella, so he is trapped in the school building. Just then, Shiori sits next to Jiro and talks to him. Jiro learns from the talk that Shiori was so scared by bugs that she held Minami's arm. The next experience makes Jiro's emotions rise and fall, as Shiori's explanation just restored some of Jiro's confidence. Minami gives up the opportunity to sing in KTV with the prettiest schoolgirl Akari, coming to school to send Shiori an umbrella, which makes Jiro feel so inferior to Minami. Since Minami picked up Shiori and left, Jiro has been crestfallen. At this time, Akari finds Jiro and cheers him up, making him a delicious dinner. Akari's original intention is to get high scores to change his partner, and Jiro has the same thought, taking the initiative to feed Akari. They are like a real couple, wearing thin clothes and behaving closely. They think it's just false acting, but they often feel like kissing each other when acting intimately. Jiro has had a lot of flirty experiences recently, which makes him often dream of falling in love with Shiori. One night when he is dreaming of kissing Shiori, he is shouted up by Akari. She heard that the couple watching horror movies together can add their points, so she wakes Jiro up to watch American zombie movies. Akari even buys Jiro couples pajamas, being bold to change clothes in front of Jiro. At this moment, the electricity shuts down. Akari is so scared that she throws herself directly into Jiro's arms. Before, when they had intimacy, they were dressed, but right now with little clothes on, Jiro feels nervous and enjoyable at the same time under the special touch. Their intimate touch makes the machine keeps adding their scores, and Akari finally feels the security in Jiro's arms in the dark. and then she lights the scented candle, with the shimmer and fragrance emitting. Jiro sees the hazy beauty of Akari. He can't help hugging Akari, praising her cuteness. Jiro thinks Akari has fallen asleep, so she can't hear it, but in fact, Akari is just pretending to be asleep. It's time for the school to release the periodical report card. Jiro and Akari get a B for their recent excellent performance, while the ranking of Minami and Shirori drops to an E, which makes Jiro very distressed, because if they don't get an A, he and Akari can't choose this group to exchange partners. Too many troubles make Jiro fall ill, but Akari doesn't stay at home to take care of him. Instead, she goes out to have fun. Jiro hears the doorbell ring, thinking that Akari has realized her coldness and returns home. However, when he opens the door, it is Shirori who comes. It turns out that Akari deliberately told Shirori about Jiro's illness to help him get the girl he likes. Akari's plan works well. Shirori takes good care of Jiro, making a dinner especially for him as a patient. Jiro falls asleep peacefully under the care of Shirori. Only then can Shirori reveal her heart. In fact, Shirori has always liked Jiro. Her family decided to move when she was in junior high school, so she planned to confess her feelings to Jiro before leaving. However, Jiro was struck by the news and left without listening to what Shirori wanted to say. Years later, they became classmates again. Shirori can no longer control his affection for Jiro, wanting to secretly kiss Jiro while he is asleep, but at the last moment she dismissed the idea because of the lack of a formal relationship. At night, Akari comes home and is taking a bath. Jiro comes to the door to thank her, but Akari is not in a good mood. When she thinks of helping Jiro chase after Shirori, she inexplicably feels a little irritable. From this night on, Akari begins to sound out what kind of girl Jiro likes. The way she asked is like she wants to understand the preferences of men so that she can capture Minami's heart. But Akari hasn't realized that the man she really cares about has become Jiro. Akari learned that Jiro likes girls who can make bento, and the next day she begins to make bento, intending to make a top-level bento for Minami, but before that, she will give all her practicing bento to Jiro. After hearing about his recent cohabitation with Akari, Jiro's best friend has been inciting Jiro to push Akari to bed and complete his transformation from a boy to a man, but Jiro insists that he will maintain his restraint though Akari wears little clothes. Every time Jiro mentions Akari, he sounds like he doesn't care about her, but what happens next makes Jiro realize his heart. Akari is finally ready to send her best bento to Minami. She casually feeds Jiro a bite when seeing him hungry, but that makes Jiro feel complicated that Akari will give such delicious bento to another man, and Akari's sexy dressing arouses Jiro's jealousy a bit. Just then an accident happens. Shirori comes to the door to give them an apple pie. While chatting, Akari learns that she is completely wrong about Minami's preference for food. Looking at the apple pie, she thinks her bento is not competitive at all. After Shirori leaves, Akari hands the bento to Jiro. Akari is very upset, so Jiro keeps praising her charm to cheer Akari, but accidentally reveals what he thinks indeed that all the boys in school like Akari and want to have an intimate relationship with her as a couple. Jiro immediately regrets saying this, but Akari has pushed him down on the sofa and asks him if he has the same thoughts as other boys. Akari takes the initiative to grab Jiro's hands to undress her, but Jiro's last shred of sanity interrupts the action, and he tells Akari that this kind of thing should be done with someone she likes. Akari misunderstands that Jiro is telling her he only likes Shirori. With a forced smile, she tells the boy to stop the fake couple relationship. Since this day, Jiro and Akari have become much more estranged. They no longer pretend to be a couple, and the points they earn continue to fall. Jiro turns back into the otaku who likes playing games alone. When the school announces the couple's ranking again, they fall to level E while Minami and Shirori are promoted to level A. Jiro keeps recalling when Akari pushed him down on the couch. He could feel her hands shaking. It seems like there was a reason for the pretty girl being so straightforward. Shirori senses that Jiro is in a bad mood, inviting him to the roof terrace to enlighten him. The sky is blue with white clouds, while young boy and girl are expressing their emotions. In school times, romance isn't the only wonderful thing. Hazy relationship like this is also enjoyable. When Jiro comes home in the evening, he sees the breakfast made by Akari, so he plucked up the courage to try to solve the misunderstanding with her. Jiro tells Akari that his rejection to her last time on the sofa was not denying her charm. It was because he didn't want to have an intimate relationship out of impulse. Instead, he wanted to cherish her and protect her innocence. Jiro sincerely proposes to resolve their misunderstanding and return to how they were before. They can chat and eat together. Akari is so excited that she accidentally says that she likes Jiro, but soon she tries to correct herself and makes it a prank. Akari finally agrees to continue to play a couple with Jiro, which makes him breathe a sigh of relief. That's the story of the first 3 episodes of More Than a Married Couple, but not lovers. Personally, I like this anime quite a lot. Aside from the special romance he has, the male protagonist Jiro is pretty much like most of us who like playing games when young and dared not to express feelings. Jiro thought himself to be in love with Shiori, who is as soft as water, but the girl Akari, who is as aggressive as a flame, was the one who really melted his heart. After graduating, it's difficult to have such a pure and lovely romance. If you also enjoy this anime, please leave a comment below. The more comments I get, the faster I'll upload the next part. And don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you in my next video.